You're listening to XNYC on the Connectwork, bringing you all you need to know before the lights go out. Last up, it's the Energy Curfew Music Hour, featuring special guests James Taylor and Gaby Moreno. The Connectwork thanks you for adhering to the nation's mandatory electricity-free 24 hours while we update the grid in our fight for carbon freedom. At the chime, there will be 60 minutes to Energy Curfew. Now get that cross breeze going and enjoy this fully acoustic show.
Ahoy! And welcome to the Energy Curfew Music Hour, your weekly off-ramp into 24 blessed hours of powerlessness. Live from Audible's Minetta Lane Theater in New York City, I'm Chris Thile, and we are Punch Brothers. That's Brittany Haas on the fiddle. Noam Pickles Pikelny on the banjo. We have Chris Eldridge on guitar. And Paul Code on the big double bass. Oh, we have a heck of a show for you tonight. Coming in hot off the newly opened South Corridor Sumter train route, Gaby Moreno is here. And am I reading this right? James Taylor is in the house?
Tonight's show is brought to you by Squirrel Space, the nation's leading provider of squirrel rehoming solutions. Are squirrels wreaking havoc in your garden or home? There's no need for ammo, no need for ammonia. Squirrel Space has a vast network of people desperate to provide squirrels with safe spaces in forever homes. Plans start at just $10 per squirrel, but if you're scourged by a scurry, bulk packages are available for ultimate savings. Only available in the continental U.S. Chipmunks will be euthanized. And big thanks to Bootstraps, the publisher of the best-selling self-help book, The Power of Nodding. This revolutionary new work explores how you can appear to be conquering all of life's challenges by simply moving your head up and down. Nodding sends a crystal clear message that everything is under control and that you're in charge. This book offers groundbreaking strategies on how to sustain this nodding motion even when you have no goddamn clue what you're doing. Order The Power of Nodding now, and you'll receive a free copy of the companion pamphlet, Blinking is Optional.
The Energy Curfew Music Hour is presented by the U.S. Department of Arts and Waste Management and produced in strict accordance with all current energy and travel regulations. And again I say, ahoy! Ahoy. A call used to greet someone or draw attention to something from a distance, especially nautically. Ahoy there! Jonah! Whale! If it's an important message, use an ahoy, I swear by it. Heck of a week in the world of messaging, by the way. The last ride of Amazon's Droney Express. It was the USPS's new fleet of carrier pigeons. Oh, yes, the internet's spectacular slow-motion shark jump is returning us to the Wild West in terms of how we send stuff and information. But one message delivery system remains impervious to the whims of progress and regress, transcends the imprecise, exclusionary nature of language, conveying all meanings to all people. Let's hear it. For instrumental music. That piece of instrumental music we just played is called 3 Dots and a Dash, invented by us, and named after a particularly delicious tiki cocktail invented by legendary barman Don the Beachcomber. But if you heard it just now and got more of a, say, espresso-tini vibe, we're here for that. Because instrumental music is here for you, however you want to hear it. Hell, not even we Punch Brothers hear the songs we're working on the same way all the time, which can lead to drama. For instance, 3 Dots and a Dash, that last tune, started its life sounding quite a bit different than it does now. Pickles, if you would be so kind as to show our listeners what you showed us that day that we started working on it.
Sure, I think it was. Yeah, I feel similarly. You know, I thought it was pretty perfect as it was. You know, folk Grammy material right there. But when I played it, Chris was like, "Pickles, what was that thing you played at the very, very end?" And I was like, "What do you mean, just this tiny little tag?" And he was like, "Yeah, I like that part. The rest not so much. Just play that end lick over and over and over." Which is like Shakespeare pitching, to be or not to be. That is the question, with Chris Thile responding, "Billy, that part at the end where you say question, I like that. Can you just say question over and over again?"
Hey, you know, Pickles, to thine own self be true, right? I heard that last phrase, which is kind of in like a quirky 3/4, and it made me think of this other quirky 3/4 number by Of Montreal called Alter Eagle, which goes like this. 1, 2, 3. Cool, right? And I was like, what if we put that thing of yours over a thing like that? That part. So Critter and I put our heads together and we came up with this. 2, 3. You see? Okay, and then it was like, try it, Pickles. And Pickles said, no! So I said, what if we reversed it? And by that, I meant going from this to 3 to this. And then Pickles said,
"This is probably as much accommodation as I'm going to get, so let's just move on."
And just like that, 3 Dots and a Dash started sounding like itself. And you know, a lot of folks have asked me if there's any Morse code hidden in that tune, because as they and Don the Beachcomber both know, 3 Dots and a Dash, da-da-da-da, is the letter V in Morse code, which was invented by Samuel Morse and which took instrumental messaging to a whole new level of specificity, paving the way for that wonder of the 19th century, the climax of all human might, the electromagnetic telegraph. Well, it sounded good while it lasted. The telephone came along just 32 short years after Samuel Morse and his right-hand man, Alfred Vail, successfully transmitted their first message via telegraph. But that was long enough for Morse to become one of the most revered and celebrated men on Earth. Alfred Vail, not so much. Because old Morse had a bad habit of roping people into working on the telegraph with him and then forgetting to tell anyone that he hadn't just done it all himself.
Sorry. Allergies.
Which brings us to this week's brand new Punch Brothers song set in the Vail family barn in Speedwell, New Jersey, where Samuel and Alfred spent years troubleshooting the telegraph long before it brought glory and riches to the former and nothing to the latter. Can we get the banjo player some water? As I was saying, this eventually created a chasm between the two friends that not even their brilliant invention could bridge. And speaking of brilliant, please welcome to the stage to play the part of Morse, Miss Gaby Moreno! Hello, Gaby! Bringing comfort and care,
and all the wires lead back here
like God
to me.
And when you close your eyes at night, what can you see of this thing we're making? Past the present's blinding light,
I see a massive canvas, a monumental work to beggar all others,
to empower the masses
with the one true
with myriad
reflections
of America. So Father's money holds,
Oh yes, he's feasting on returns, and we're the toast of New York, with the whole world talking, and nearly 80 cents a word.
Sweet Jesus, and what's being said?
Son, we marvel at your
It
accomplishment.
justifies the expense.
Wife is ill, come at once.
What does it run? We're lonely ones to send I love you. I love you.
$2 and 22 cents.
How about could you ever love me?
$3.70, please send payment.
Or will we both just get more lonely?
Subject of my canvas, bestriding our burgeoning country like Colossus, unstoppable, impervious, inviting true America.
To mobilize their thought and freeze the ticking clock.
Me, strategizing,
Celebrating,
aggrandizing, delivering the one true
myriad
reflections of America to the four corners of the earth.
Such beauty,
Such glory, immunity, omnipotence.
So we pray.
So we protect ourselves.
Serve with humility
To bind
all good citizens.
Let what can't be said be sent. 'Cause nothing can't be sent.
Then let them send I love you. I love you.
Why should they not send I love you?
Then let us open up our eyes and not fear what we
Or at
see.
least I need
As reality drags us back to the presence, blinding light. We'll work in the shade.
live for the day.
No one's ever more than one wild way.
Hearing someone with $2.22 say I love you.
I love you.
I love
I
you.
love you. Thank you so much. That's called $2.22. And let's hear it for Gaby Moreno.
What if all the grown-ups stopped working so hard? Dropped all their things and stared at the sky. All the busy nothings that could fill a cup, days and nights fly by and I've forgotten to be scared of the dark. 'Cause every little minute's filled with things to do, and me and you have found that there's no time to see the clouds up so high. Is it so hard to remember how it all used to be? They say youth is lost on the young who never knew they were free. Here we are, we're lost on a cloud. Darling, it's okay to while the hours away. While we're here forever, I just wanna hear you laughing out loud. 'Cause every little minute's filled with things to do, and me and you have found that there's no time to see the clouds up so high. Is it so hard to remember what we had, you and me? They say youth is lost on the young who never knew they were free.
Lost on a Cloud. The one and only Gaby Moreno. She'll be back a little later in the show, never fear. A portion of tonight's show is brought to you by the Rube Goldberg Variations, celebrating the innovative thinkers of New Manhattan. This evening we highlight the incredible work of Lori Lankerson, the inventor of a groundbreaking new leaf blower that reduces your carbon footprint literally one step at a time. Lankerson, a vintage sneaker enthusiast, was admiring her prized 1992 Air Jordans when she had an epiphany. That oxygen could be embedded within the sole of a shoe, not only for the purpose of comfort, but for landscaping. Lori constructed a prototype of her design by replacing the soles of her worn-out Doc Martens with two oversized bellows rescued from a pipe organ at a local abandoned church. She then fitted coil springs from an old Ford F-250 Super Duty truck inside each bellow to ensure quick air refills after each step. The result? Her not yet patented Mellow Bellow leaf-blowing system powered solely by walking. After several thoughtful design revisions, Lankerson's leaf-blowing shoes are now only about twice the size of an average snowshoe, and the sound emitted with each step is less like a commercial wood chipper, more like a gentle fart from your feet. We're wishing Ms. Lankerson a speedy recovery as she tore both of her Achilles tendons last week while beta testing her new personal lawn mowing system made from upcycle rollerblades and vintage egg beaters. Get well soon, Lori. Your ingenuity is ensuring that New Manhattan stays on the cutting edge. And now, it brings me the greatest pleasure to welcome to the Energy Curfew Music Hour stage Mr. James Taylor. Be honest with us. You were worried it might be like James H. Taylor or something, right?
Excellent.
It's the problem with those three-legged stools.
I don't. Yeah. It's economical in its use of legs. No extra legs on this stool. I guess that's about the minimum number of legs you could get to work. Well, excellent. So excellent to now. What was that piece of music you were playing underneath the
leaf blower situation. That was the second Goldberg variation by Mr. J.S. Bach.
Ah, fantastic! Wow, these are not your average folk musicians, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen. There's some expensive education on this stage. This is a song that was, I'll tell you this story. I came to New York City as a teenager, 18 years old in 1966, and at that time, on the other side of that wall somewhere was on 3rd Street in MacDougal was a club called the Night Owl Cafe, and my band, the Flying Machine, I wish we hadn't, I now have a name that I want for my band, and I know what I want to call it. I used to think that we wanted to be the Sky Chefs, but now I think we want to be the Collanders. Yeah.
We're here for you, should that ever, take...
Yeah. Anyway, the Flying Machine, my band at that point, our band, was 4 of us guys who came to town and got this job playing in the Night Owl Cafe for 8 months. But at the end of that period of time, we ran into the wall and tried our best, but couldn't get a record deal, and the band fell apart eventually, and I found myself stranded in New York with a heroin habit, just as you do, and I was on the phone to my dad, and he said, James, you don't sound so good, and I said, Dad, I'm really not doing so well at all, and he said, well, James, tell me what your address is there. And I told him that I was at 122 West 84th Street. And he said, now don't move. Just stay right there. And about 14 hours later, he showed up in the family car, and I had very little furniture, just a mattress and some milk crates with my clothing in it. And he pulled me out of New York, and probably, it probably saved me a mess of trouble. And a year later, I was signed by the Beatles, first act signed on Apple Records in London, and things were looking a lot rosier. But, I've often said that a mom has to really be there and put in the hours, but a dad, can skate if there are just a couple of things you can, put in his column in the old personal mythology, So that's one of my favorite stories about my dad, and I wrote a song about it. You wouldn't know it to hear the song, but it is about that daring daylight escape from New York at the age of 18. This is Jump Up Behind Me. One, two, one, two.
This land is a lovely green, it reminds me of my own home. Such people I've seldom seen, even in my own home. The sky so bright and clean, it is like my home. Kind people as I've ever been, won't you take me back to my own home? Jump up behind me, my love, jump up behind me. Old Dan can bear us both. Jump up behind me. We follow the road till we reach the sea. Jump up behind me. Catching the tide, we'll set old Dan free. Jump up behind me. I've been in the world a while and I've seen a lot of country. Many days and many miles, all various and sundry. I've had my way and had my fun, and I had my chance to run free. Burning hot beneath the sun, freezing cold and wintry. Jump up behind me, my love, jump up behind me. Old Dan can carry us both. Jump up behind me. We follow the boat till we reach the sea. Jump up behind me. Catch the tide and we'll set old Dan free. Jump on up, jump up behind me. In these days, I know now only one thing matters. I must say, I know now. I must say, love and love alone. I know now. Oh, I know now. Came out of a dream last night. I thought I was back in my old home. Mom and Dad were both still alive, and the baby's not yet born. No. Felt like a festival, and it felt like a Christmas morning. felt the darkness fall away, even as the world was turning on. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, yeah, la 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 la. I put behind me, la 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 la, I know, la 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 la, come on, la 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 la. Jump up behind me, my love. We follow the road to the western sea.
Almost identical guitar. This one doesn't have the bite out of the shoulder here. That one is for people who play way up the neck, like these guys can do. But I never go above this. I stay down here, even with the capo. I stay low.
You find all the best notes down there, though.
I do. There are some good
every
notes
last
down here.
one.
Sure. Yeah. But I was going to have that little bite out of the shoulder where you can go up and play those ultra high runs. I was going to get a little like mother of pearl spider's web in there, you know. Yeah. Put a little, because I never go up. I think that would look good, don't you? Get someone to make. Well, we're going to play a tune also in E. Those of you who are keeping track of the keys, and this is a tune that's in dropped E tuning, and it's a song I wrote on my first and last trip to China, and I went over there to try to find my son Benjamin, and Ben has been a lifelong studier of the martial arts, and at that point he was 15 years old. This was in 1992 perhaps, and he had been studying in Queens with a guy who was teaching Wing Chun out there, and his teacher wanted him to go meet his master in China, and he took a small group of people across China. Very ad hoc, very low budget tour of China, and Ben being only 15, I got nervous about what was happening, so I got his older sister, and she and I went over to try to find him, and we did find him, and he was we were there to meet his teacher's master, whose name was Mr. Fu, Master Fu. Master Fu wanted us all to climb Ermei Mountain, and that's the name of this next song, Up Ermei. Ermei was the original location of Buddhism when it came into to China from the West, and there were many. Originally, there were many monasteries and shrines all the way up this. It takes about 3 days to climb the mountain by foot, and there are stairs carved into the mountain all the way up. You basically go upstairs for 3 days, and at night you stay at one of a number of the remaining temples and shrines that are still there. So it was a remarkable trip, and this song happened somewhere along the way. This is Up Ermei.
We were walking in paradise, never did notice. Blind in the Buddha land, looking for solace. We have been told of a place far beyond this veil of tears. We could never have guessed We were already blessed. Where we were, there we are. In the garden. Didn't we climb on up early? Temple to temple. Yes, and all along the way the day. Simple now. Didn't we reach the top? Didn't we gain our goal? Did we finally stop? Surprised by the cold. Yeah, yeah. We were walking in paradise, never did tumble. Blind in the Buddha land, looking for trouble. We have been told of a place far beyond this veil of tears we could never have guessed. We were already blessed. Where we were, where we are, in the garden.
Mr. James Taylor. Upper May. Don't you worry, he'll be back later in the show. But for now, it's time for another exciting episode of Breaking Trad, where Punch Brothers transport fine fiddle tunes over state lines and international borders completely against their wills. This week, we're headed to the bluegrass mecca of northern New Jersey, home of Tex Logan and Bell Labs, where Logan worked doing communication signal research. But he was perhaps most famous for playing fiddle with Bill Monroe in the 1950s. Tonight we're going to bring you a Punch Brothers version of Come Along Jody, which Logan wrote for his young daughter so he could get her to come along.
Sorry, Chris, I just have to ask quick question.
Oh, boy.
Clarification. So you're saying that this tune was written as a negotiating tactic? Like Tex would play Come Along Jody and little Jody would just magically start following directions?
Pickles, I think it was
just the threat of hearing her daddy play that tune that would set her straight? Wow, that's amazing. I have to imagine that if a New Jersey fiddle tune could compel a toddler to put on her shoes or brush her teeth, then the right fiddle tunes in the right hands could have solved some of the world's biggest problems. In the criminal justice system, old-timey offenses are considered especially heinous. In Ruffton County, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Orange Blossom Special Victims Unit. These are their stories. I'm Detective Norm P. Kelly, and this is my partner, Bridget Haas.
Lawyer!
No, sir. She's a detective, a fine fiddler, too. Best detective fiddler we've ever had on this unit. I hope to God that her fiddle crusher will stay in the case today. You do not want to be on the listening end of that puppy. So let's cut to the chase. Shirley's gone. There's nothing anyone can say or do to bring that precious little angel back. But I have promised Shirley's family that I will not rest until I find justice for her. Mr. Thile. Multiple witnesses have given statements attesting to the fact that you were roaming around the Ruffton County Fairgrounds on Saturday, July the 22nd. Can you tell me why you were present at the 4-H fair that afternoon?
Lawyer!
Okay, you want to play hardball? Fine. Detective Haas, maybe a little bit of old Aunt Jenny with her nightcap on will help Mr. Thile refresh his memory. Oh, easy now, Haas. Slow it down. Keep it above the belt. Oh, watch the eyes. All right, that's enough, Miss Haas. That's enough. How did that feel, Mr. Thile? All right, let me try this another way. Mr. Thile, does the name Lester ring any bells? We have here an official affidavit signed by the Ruffton County 4-H chair declaring that your young son, Sammy, entered a single-fryer rabbit called Lester into competition on July the 22nd. Mr. Thile, how did your son and his rabbit perform in that contest?
I plead the fifth.
Hogwash! There's no fifth place in a 4-H fair. Not even in the Hogwash Invitational. Detective Haas, I think Mr. Thile seems to be a little confused right now. Maybe it'd help him if you rendered some spider bit the baby. Oh, that's gonna leave a mark. Whoa, Detective, easy now. Oh, okay, no. Do not take the repeat. He needs to be able to walk out of here. Okay, Miss Haas, enough. Wow. You are one tough nut, Mr. Thile. Most grown men wet their pants and beg for their mommies during Spider Bit the Baby. But there's no more time to beat around the bush. Miss Haas has a gig tonight. Mr. Thile, we know for a fact that your son's Bunny Lester didn't even place in that contest, not even an honorable mention. There were squirrels living at those fairgrounds that got more attention than your boy's pathetic bunny. So, Mr. Thile, I must ask, how did it make you feel when Shirley, that lovable 10-pound New Zealand white, was named the 1985 Ruffton County Reserve Grand Champion Single-Fryer Rabbit? Did it make you feel like a bad father? Did it make you want to fry her up for days before she would have been slaughtered anyway? Surely under slaughter befitting a 4-H Reserve Grand Champion, not your hatchet job. What kind of monster are you? That rabbit was not yours to kill. She was someone else's to kill. Confess to Shirley's murder right now, or Haas will play the Orange Blossom Special.
No, I ain't talking. I did it! I killed Shirley! I hated that stupid rabbit! Just make it stop! I confess! What else do I need to hear? Look, I shot JFK! I kidnapped the Lindbergh baby! I shot the sheriff and the deputy! I stole Christmas! I let the dogs out! I did it all! I confess! I killed that rabbit! I framed Roger Rabbit! It was me! I could make it stop!
Oh, I think I may have just had a stroke.
Thank you, Pickles. And now let's get back to Come Along, Jody, which is just the name of the tune. Let's come along, Jodels. Thank you very much. We had fun with that one. And now for your local weekend briefing.
This year's Coast to Post Relay Marathon is nearing the end of the road, so to speak, with last leggers approaching Prospect Park on Sunday. With recent and significant cutbacks to the U.S. Postal Service, these middle schoolers have picked up the slack, collecting and delivering nearly 62.8 billion letters and important catalogs over the 364-day marathon. And we are sincerely grateful. Parents of these pint-sized recruits can reconnect with their little joggers at the sheep meadow for hugs and high fives and to see how they've grown. Surely a few centimeters at least. After escorting your child through the hydration station and medical tent, celebrate their year of postal service with a very old-fashioned pizza party. The fest will also include ball-free gaga, water-soluble crafts, and of course, seltzer. At the chime, there will be 15 minutes to Energy Curfew.
Please make welcome back to the stage, Miss Gaby Moreno. Gaby, we missed you.
I miss you. I'm back.
Tell us about this next one.
All right, this next song is called Colibri, which means hummingbird in Spanish. And it's a song that came to me in a dream where I was literally holding a little hummingbird in my hands. And this happened shortly after my grandmother passed away, and I was very close to her. And I remember every time I would visit her in her home in Guatemala, where I'm from, there would always be like all these hummingbirds flying, sometimes 30 of them. It was pretty amazing. So I was inspired to write this song, but also because in Mayan culture, the hummingbird is believed to be a messenger of love, of good fortune. So think about that next time you see a little colibri.
Hoy les vengo yo a cantar lo que en mis sueños viví, lo que en mis sueños viví. Hoy les vengo yo a cantar. Se mecía entre mis manos, se mecía entre mis manos un pequeño colibrí. Hoy les vengo yo a cantar lo que en mis sueños viví. Desplegando bien sus plumas, desplegando bien sus plumas, fuerte se escuchó el zumbido, fuerte se escuchó el zumbido, desplegando bien sus plumas. Pronto abandonó su nido, pronto abandonó su nido, bajo el brillo de la luna, desplegando bien sus plumas, fuerte se escuchó el zumbido. Couldn't help but wonder why it came to me tiny colibri, it's tearing me asunder. See it in my dreams, the wings, the symphony, hum your melody, tiny colibri. Silba y trina el colibrí, resumba y vuela el colibrí. Silba y trina el colibrí, resumba y vuela el colibrí. Con su libre vuelo anuncia un presagio de buena suerte, un presagio de buena suerte. Con su libre vuelo anuncia. Pronto vienen buenos tiempos, pronto vienen buenos tiempos, con salud y amor afluente. Con su libre vuelo anuncia un presagio de buena suerte. Couldn't help but wonder why it came to me, the tiny colibri, it's tearing me asunder. See it in my dreams, the wings, the symphony, hum your melody, tiny colibri. Silba y trina el colibrí, resumba y vuela el colibrí. Silba y trina el colibrí, resumba y vuela el colibrí. Silba y trina el colibrí, resumba y vuela el colibrí. Silba que trina, que trina, que silba, que silba, que trina, que trina.
Look out! Gaby Moreno!
This portion of our show is brought to you by the Bad News Bearers. Roar! Delivering bad news is hard. Don't want to ruin your friend's day? We can help. Call the Bad News Bearers and get a licensed musician to ruin it for you in a song.
Hi there.
Are you Trish McAllister, best friend of Mona Wickland?
That's me, BFFs.
I'm having an emotional affair with your husband.
Oh, well, I appreciate her honesty.
And also, we're having lots of sex.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Roar! Are you not sure how to break bad news to an American icon? Call the Bad News Bearers. We'll handle it.
Hello?
In your mind, you're going to Carolina. But in reality, you're an hour late for your colonoscopy.
Oh, shit.
Bad news can be so uncomfortable, but not for us. It's our living. Use code ECMH for 10% off your first order and make your bad news more bearable today.
You know, I was wondering why I didn't get any breakfast.
Look who's back! It's James Taylor!
going to play you a song now. This is a song that was a title tune from an album I released I think about 20 years ago. This is a song about going back home called October Road.
So I'm going back down maybe one more time, deep down home, October Road. And I might like to see that little friend of mine that I left behind once upon a time. To promised land and be still standing, it's a test of time, it's a real good sign. Let the sun come down behind the hill. I know how to stand real still till the moon climbs up behind the pine. Oh Lord, October Road. It's a big time of life that I can't abide. Raise my rent, tan my hide. Deep call of the countryside. Go down slow, open wide. I did my time and it changed my mind. Now I'm satisfied, just about right. I got so low down and fed up. My God, I couldn't hardly move it. Now won't you come on, my brother? Yeah. Get on up, help me to find my groove. Yeah. We've been walking down October Road, walking in the sunshine now. That little friend of mine.
Energy Curfew is drawing nigh. And so maybe one more, and then...
What are we going to do now?
I think it's Song
for You Far Away.
Song for
yes,
You.
Let's do that. Oh, yeah. There's a story to this one, too. There's a story for everything, but some of them are really quite boring indeed. But anyway, I wouldn't say that. This tune it's sad. It's a sad story. A friend of mine who died young, not supposed to, but she did, and I didn't get a chance to get back to town before she died. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye, so if there's a message, it's basically don't hesitate. That thing you want to tell somebody, or that the thing you want to say to someone, go ahead and do it, because you just never know, you know. And but this is a song missing my friend Debbie Coleman was her name, and it's a long time ago now that she's gone. This is a song for you far away.
People around me, they're at it again. God only knows how they do it. One then another, then back again. Something's been putting them through it. Me, I've been watching more than 15 years, and it hasn't changed a bit. People keep talking along a different line, but it never seems to fit. This is a song for you, far away, far away. This is a song for you, far away from me. This is a song for you, far away, so far away. This is a song for you, far away from me. Sitting here all alone is bringing it on again. I'm gone again. Sitting here thinking of you, it's driving it home again. This is a song for you, far away, so far away. This is a song for you, far away from me. Open the door, it takes me back. Oh, it takes me back. Mention your name, I'm gone again. Oh, I'm gone again. This is a song for you, far away from me. Far away, talking about far away, far away from me.
Thank you so much, James, for being on the show. What a joy spending the evening with you. And that, my friends, is our show from Audible's Minetta Lane Theater in New York City. Let's hear it one more time for Gaby Moreno and James Taylor. We are Punch Brothers. The grid's about to go down, y'all, so light a candle, pour yourself and someone you love something good, and have a beautiful dark day. Hey, one more, I better kick it off before I have to kick us out of the bag it in. The fiddle tunes and air conditioning.
This has been an Audible Originals production of the Energy Curfew Music Hour, featuring Chris Thile and Punch Brothers, created by Chris Thile and Claire Coffey, written by Rachel Axler, Claire Coffey, Noam Pekelny, and Chris Thile, starring Chris Thile, Chris Eldridge, Brittany Haas, Paul Cohort, and Noam Pekelny. Executive producer for Audible is Preston Copley, directed by Claire Coffey, produced by Jason Colton, Chris Thile, and Claire Coffey, produced for Audible by Carson Donnelly. Supervising producers Hudson Theatrical Associates and Sean Gorski. Special guests James Taylor and Gaby Moreno. Recorded by Jeff Dudzik. Original music by Punch Brothers. Mixed and mastered by David Boucher. Sound design by Cody Spencer. Special thanks to Sam Britton. Punch Brothers appear courtesy of None Such Records. Head of production at Audible Studios is Mike Charzik. Head of creative development at Audible is Kate Navin. Chief content officer is Rachel Giazza. The Energy Curfew Music Hour was recorded live at the Minetta Lane Theater under the management of Margaret Cotter. Copyright 2024 by Mind Capo Inc. and Polly Stevens Group Inc. Sound recording copyright 2024 by Audible Originals, LLC.
Happy Dark Day, y'all.